All right, folks, let's talk about the Greater Toronto Area real estate market because holy smokes, it's dropping like a rock, and it's about time we stop pretending everything's fine. If you've been paying attention, or even if you haven't, because the signs are everywhere, this market is not just cooling off, it's practically in a deep freeze. Sales are tanking, inventory is piling up, and prices, well, they're not crashing through the floor just yet, but the cracks are starting to show. So grab a coffee, buckle up, and let's unpack this mess. First off, the numbers don't lie. As of February 2025, GTA home sales hit 4,037 transactions. Sounds like a lot, right? Wrong. That's a whopping 28% drop year over year from February 2024. Let that sink in. Nearly a third fewer homes sold compared to last year, even after the Bank of Canada started slashing rates back in mid-2024, 7 consecutive times. You'd think lower borrowing costs would light a fire under buyers, but nope. They're sitting on the sidelines, twiddling their thumbs and watching the listings stack up like firewood in a Canadian winter. And stack up they have. Active listings in February 2025 hit 19,500 plus, up 76% from what we saw in February 2024. New listings, over 12,000, a 5.9 bump from last year. Meanwhile, sales can't keep pace. The sales to new listing ratio is a measly 33%, which for those who don't speak real estate geek means we're firmly in buyer market territory. Anything under 40% is basically a neon sign saying, buyers, you've got the upper hand, negotiate hard. Sellers are sweating, and you can see it in the data. Homes are sitting on the market longer, with average days on market climbing to 43 days in February, up from 37 days a year ago. That's a week longer for sellers to chew their nails and wonder if they're priced too high. Now, let's talk about why this is happening, because it's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm. Affordability is the big, ugly elephant in the room. Even with those rate cuts, mortgage rates are still high compared to the dirt cheap money we got used to pre-COVID. The average GTA home price in February was $1,084,000. Sure, that's down 2.2% from last year, but it's still $1,000,000 for a typical home. Who's got that kind of cash lying around? Not the average household, that's for sure. Toronto Real Estate Board's own president, Alicia Barry Spruill, said it plain as day. Current mortgage rates make it difficult for the average household income to comfortably cover monthly payments on a typical property, quote unquote. And she's right. People want to buy, but they can't. They're sidelined by the math. Then there's the economic uncertainty. Canada's trade relationship with the US is a wild card right now, especially with tariff threats floating around from the Trump administration. Add in shifting immigration policies, fewer non-permanent residents coming in after years of population boom, and you got a recipe for a stalled demand. Toronto's population grew by 1.3 million in 2024, but that's slowing down in 2025. Fewer people means less pressure on housing. And that's a big shift from the feeding frenzy we saw during the pandemic. But here's where it gets juicy. The market's not crashing evenly. Detached homes are holding up better than condos. Average price for a detached place is still high at 1.445, up 0.2% year over year. Condos, though, they're taking a beating. Average condo price in February was $688,000, down 1% from last year, and sales are sluggish. Why? Investors are bailing. Condo inventory is through the roof. 25,800 unsold units in mid-2024, a record high with rental demand cooling thanks to the immigration slowdown. Those investor-owned units aren't moving. It's a buyer's paradise if you're in the market for a condo, but good luck if you're trying to unload one. And don't get me started on the sellers still clinging to 2022 prices. You've got people listing their homes sky high, hoping some sucker will bite, but buyers aren't that dumb. Price cuts are stacking up. Ex-posts are buzzing about it. 6,787 new freehold lists in the past 7 days. 3,812 more active units net of sales are posted on these posts. That's a flood of inventory, and it's not moving fast. The market's unraveling, and sellers who don't adjust are going to be left holding the bag. So what's the fallout? Well, for one, it's a wake-up call. The GTA has been riding this insane wave of price growth, up over 450% since 1996, from 198,000 to over $1 million today. But that party is over. We're in a correction, not a crash, at least not yet. Prices are down 15% from their peak in Toronto per some analysts, and that's more than Vancouver's 6% drop. But here's the kicker. Sellers aren't budging enough. They're falling into delinquency instead of slashing prices. RBC's GTA mortgage portfolio saw serious delinquencies soar over 170% year over year in Q3 2024, and they're always delayed. That's not a market adjusting gracefully. That's a market in denial. For buyers, this is your moment. You've got choice, negotiating power, and time. 3 things you haven't had in years. For sellers, it's adapt or die. Drop your price or sit on that listing until the snow melts. And for the government, they're hoping rate cuts and vague promises of affordability measures will save the day. But I'm not holding my breath. The supply shortage isn't fixing itself. 35,000 new homes a year can't keep up with a metro area of 7.1 million people. And the demand side's drying up anyway. Look, the GTA real estate market isn't dead, but it's on life support. Sales are dropping like a rock because affordability is a pipe dream. Uncertainty is spooking everyone, and the condo segment is drowning in supply. Will it crash? Maybe not. Toronto's got a strong economy and a knack for bouncing back. But this isn't the boom times anymore. It's a buyer's game now, and the sellers better wise up fast. That's the state of the GTA in March 2025, folks. Messy, chaotic, and one hell of a shift. So here's my question to you. What do you think happens next? Drop a comment below. Let's have this conversation. And before you go, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who needs to stay ahead of this chaos. This is Vince Gaetano from OwlMortgage.ca. Thanks for listening. And remember, the Wise Old Owl is here to help you navigate through the noise and provide insight to the financial chaos in the current environment. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and together, let's chart a path to financial stability. Cheers.